two things. Nobody puts baby in a corner, and Jennifer Grey ruined her career, ruined her face, took away everything.
When Dirty Dancing burst onto the scene in 1987, it wasn't merely a film, it was a seismic cultural event. It captured the hearts of a generation and continues to enchant viewers decades later, largely due to the electrifying, seemingly effortless chemistry between its stars, Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze. Their performances as Baby Houseman and Johnny Castle felt so authentic, so charged with raw emotion and desire, that it was hard to imagine anything less than a perfect connection off-screen. The film's legacy is built on that perception of effortless magic. Nobody puts baby in a corner, that unforgettable lift, the forbidden romance against the backdrop of a pivotal summer. But behind the dazzling dance numbers and whispered confessions lay a hidden reality, a story of profound personal challenges, clashing personalities, and an unexpected dynamic between two actors that was far more complicated and perhaps even more compelling than the fairy tale audiences saw. What unseen battles were being fought, and how did they shape not only the film but the very lives and careers of the stars forever? Before their names became synonymous with summer love and iconic dance moves, both Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze were artists honing their craft. Though their paths to Hollywood's doorstep were distinct, Jennifer Grey stepped into the world already steeped in it. Born in 1960 in New York City, she was the daughter of two figures renowned in the entertainment world. Her father was the legendary Academy Award-winning actor Joel Grey, famous for his chilling role in Cabaret, and her mother, Jo Wilder, was a former actress and singer. Growing up with that kind of pedigree meant that a life in the performing arts felt almost fated. Jennifer received formal training, studying, acting at the esteemed Neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater, building a solid foundation for her career. She began landing smaller parts in the early 1980s, slowly navigating the competitive landscape. Her early work included commercials and minor film roles, gaining essential on-set experience. But it was her role in the 1986 teen comedy classic, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that first showcased her undeniable talent to a wider audience. As Jeannie Bueller, Ferris's perpetually annoyed, sarcastic, and ultimately relatable older sister, Jennifer delivered a performance filled with comedic timing and genuine frustration. She perfectly captured the feeling of being overlooked in the shadow of a charismatic sibling, making Jeannie a standout character and proving Grey's ability to blend humor with sharp, truthful emotion. This role put her squarely in the spotlight, setting the stage for the project that would change everything. Patrick Swayze, born in Houston, Texas in 1952, possessed a different, more physically demanding background that would prove crucial to his future success. His mother, Patty Swayze, was a highly respected choreographer and dance instructor who ran her own dance studio. It was under her rigorous guidance that Patrick developed an extraordinary discipline and learned to fuse athletic prowess with artistic expression from a young age. He trained seriously in ballet, attending prestigious institutions like the Harkness Ballet and Joffrey Ballet schools in New York City. But Swayze wasn't just a dancer, he was a multi-talented athlete, excelling in high school football and practicing martial arts. This unique combination of grace, strength, and intensity gave him a powerful presence that translated compellingly to the screen. His early film roles, like the brooding older brother Daryl Curtis in Francis Ford Coppola's 1983 adaptation of The Outsiders and his part in Red Dawn, 1984, hinted at the range he possessed, a tough exterior masking vulnerability. He was building a reputation as a strong, capable performer with an undeniable screen presence, yet nothing could have prepared him or Jennifer for the global phenomenon they were about to co-create. And then came Dirty Dancing, a film initially plagued by production issues, low expectations from the studio, and filmed in challenging, humid conditions. Few involved suspected it would become the monster hit it did, but upon its release, it defied all expectations, becoming a critical and commercial smash. It wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural moment, The soundtrack became one of the best-selling albums of all time, and the dance moves, particularly that final lift, became instantly iconic. At the heart of its success was the electric, almost tangible chemistry between Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze. As the privileged, naive baby houseman and the working-class, rebellious dance instructor Johnny Castle, they embodied a timeless, forbidden romance. Swayze brought a powerful, magnetic masculinity tempered with a dancer's elegance, making Johnny both dangerous and deeply desirable. Grey's portrayal of Baby's transformation, from an awkward, idealistic girl to a young woman finding her voice and embracing her sensuality, was vulnerable, relatable, and inspiring. The film resonated across generations, cementing its place as a beloved classic. Audiences were captivated by the story, yes, but it was the palpable connection between the two leads that truly fueled its enduring appeal. Yet, achieving that on-screen magic was far from effortless, and reports from behind the scenes painted a picture of a relationship fraught with tension and conflict. The undeniable on-screen passion and connection viewers adored in Dirty Dancing masked a complex and often challenging reality behind the scenes. Reports from the production revealed that Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze didn't initially click. Their working styles and personalities often clashed, leading to friction on set. Jennifer Grey herself has spoken candidly in interviews and her memoir about the difficulties she experienced. She described Swayze as being intensely dedicated and a perfectionist, traits she later came to respect, but which initially created tension. She recalled that he wasn't particularly warm towards her at the beginning of filming, making the already demanding physical and emotional work even harder. Swayze, known for his focus and directness, would reportedly push Grey hard, challenging her performance in ways that sometimes felt harsh or critical to her. In one notable anecdote, Jennifer recounted how Swayze's intensity and pushing during rehearsals for their dance scenes could be overwhelming, creating pressure that wasn't always comfortable. While the finished product showcases seamless partnership, the process involved navigating frustration and different approaches to their craft. This wasn't a case of dislike, but rather two strong personalities with distinct methods clashing under pressure. Ironically, this very tension and pushing might have added a raw, authentic edge to their on-screen dynamic, fueling the friction and eventual passion between Baby and Johnny in a way that effortless camaraderie never could have. The whirlwind success of Dirty Dancing propelled Jennifer Grey into a level of fame she had never experienced. But her trajectory took a sharp, unexpected turn due to a confluence of difficult personal and professional events. One of the most widely discussed and, for her, deeply impactful moments centered around her decision to undergo rhinoplasty in the early 1990s. In an industry fixated on appearance, cosmetic surgery was becoming more common, but Grey's procedure significantly altered her facial features. The very features the public had come to recognize and adore as Baby. The result was dramatic. She famously articulated the profound sense of dislocation it caused by saying she went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. The change made her virtually unrecognizable to even people she knew well. This physical transformation, while perhaps intended to refine her look, created an immediate and devastating barrier to her career. Casting directors struggled to see her as the actress they knew, and she found it incredibly difficult to land roles, experiencing a significant slowdown in opportunities in the wake of the surgery. It became a powerful, painful lesson in how Hollywood's obsession with a specific image can erase identity and opportunity for actresses, tying recognition so tightly to physical appearance. Adding another layer of immense, silent suffering, just a few weeks before Dirty Dancing's premiere, Jennifer was involved in a tragic car accident while on vacation in Ireland with her then-boyfriend, actor Matthew Broderick. The accident resulted in the passing of two individuals in the other car. Although Jennifer was physically unharmed, the emotional and psychological trauma was profound and long-lasting. She spoke openly in later years about the intense survivor's guilt she experienced, grappling with the immense grief of the accident while simultaneously being launched into global superstardom with the release of the film. It created a heartbreaking paradox. The public was celebrating her greatest professional triumph, while she was privately reeling from a devastating loss of life she was connected to. She felt she didn't have permission to fully embrace or celebrate the film's success given the tragedy. This juxtaposition of public triumph and private agony left deep emotional scars that complicated her relationship with fame and contributed to a period of retreat from the relentless spotlight. The trauma and grief lingered, impacting her life and career far beyond the initial headlines, making her journey through post-Dirty Dancing fame uniquely challenging. Beyond the surgery and the accident, Jennifer Grey also faced the systemic hurdles common for women in Hollywood: typecasting and ageism. The massive success of Dirty Dancing meant she was forever associated with the character of Baby Houseman. Producers and audiences alike found it hard to see her as anyone else, boxing her into a narrow set of expectations. This typecasting, combined with the dramatic change in her appearance and the emotional toll she carried, made it increasingly difficult to secure roles that allowed her to showcase different facets of her acting range. As the 1990s progressed, the types of leading roles available began to dwindle, reflecting broader industry issues where nuanced parts for women, especially those past a certain youthful ingenue stage or who didn't conform to increasingly narrow beauty standards, were scarce. Grey's experience became emblematic of the challenges actresses face in an industry that insists on reinvention while simultaneously punishing deviation from a prescribed image. Despite these significant hurdles, she demonstrated remarkable resilience, continuing to act in smaller films, television projects throughout the 90s and 2000s, and even taking on voice work, consistently working even if not in the intense glare of superstardom. Patrick Swayze, the magnetic star who embodied effortless cool and raw passion on screen, also wrestled with significant hidden struggles beneath his public persona. While his charm and talent were undeniable, his personal life was marked by challenges that deeply affected him. One of the most revealing insights into his inner world came years later when his widow, Lisa Nimi Swayze, spoke about his childhood. She revealed that Patrick experienced physical abuse from his mother, Patty Swayze, during his younger years. Patty, while instrumental in nurturing his dance talent, ran a demanding and at times reportedly harsh household. The emotional toll of this upbringing was profound and left lasting scars. According to Nimi, the abuse reportedly stopped only after Patrick's father intervened on his 18th birthday, confronting Patty about her actions. These early experiences with control, discipline, and pain likely shaped his complex personality, influencing his approach to relationships, vulnerability, and perhaps even his intense drive and sometimes difficult nature on set. Overcoming this childhood trauma was a silent battle he carried throughout his life. As his fame exploded with Dirty Dancing and later Ghost, Swayze also faced the pressure of being a heartthrob, a label that, while bringing immense success, didn't always align with his artistic aspirations. He was a classically trained artist who yearned for more complex roles and broader recognition beyond being seen solely as a romantic lead or action hero. The industry's tendency to typecast him as the charming, tough but sensitive guy sometimes left him feeling artistically confined, as though the full range of his talent wasn't being seen or appreciated. This tension between public expectation and personal artistic ambition added another layer to his internal struggles. He actively sought out roles that challenged these perceptions, such as his portrayal of the philosophical bouncer in Roadhouse, or his deeply dramatic part in City of Joy, filmed in India, attempting to prove his versatility. The relentless demands of fame, the pressure to constantly perform at a high level, and the weight of his personal history sometimes led Swayze down difficult paths. During certain periods of his life and career, he struggled with substance use, particularly alcohol. This wasn't a constant state, but rather periods where he turned to drinking to cope with stress, grief, and the immense pressure he faced. One significant turning point mentioned in accounts was the emotional devastation he experienced after his wife, Lisa Niemi, suffered a miscarriage. The profound grief and helplessness reportedly led him to seek temporary solace in alcohol. His struggles with substance use reportedly intensified during the filming of the movie Fatherhood. While he did enter rehab and experienced periods of sobriety, his journey was marked by setbacks, highlighting the difficult private battle he fought against his personal demons. These struggles, often hidden from the public eye, added a layer of vulnerability and complexity to the charismatic star that millions admired, showing that even those who project immense strength can be fighting silent, painful wars within. Despite the initial friction on set, the vast differences in their personalities, and the significant personal battles each was quietly fighting, something undeniable and lasting developed between Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze during the filming of Dirty Dancing. It wasn't a conventional friendship or a simple, warm camaraderie, especially at first, but it was a bond forged in the crucible of creating something extraordinary under pressure. Jennifer Grey's later reflections revealed that while Swayze's demanding nature could be challenging, she came to understand that it stemmed from a deep commitment to his craft and a desire to push both himself and his co-star to deliver their absolute best. His relentless pursuit of perfectionism, though difficult at times, ultimately helped Grey tap into a vulnerability and strength in her performance that captivated audiences. She acknowledged that he pushed her boundaries in ways that ultimately made her a better actress. Their relationship evolved from initial tension to one rooted in mutual respect for each other's dedication and willingness to work hard. They shared the unique experience of bringing Baby and Johnny to life, a creative partnership that transcended their personal differences. What made their connection even more fascinating was their shared commitment to keeping their private lives separate from the immense public fascination surrounding their on-screen pairing. While Dirty Dancing launched them both into stratospheric fame, neither Jennifer nor Patrick were particularly eager to spill the details of their off-screen dynamic or personal struggles to the press. They navigated the intense media attention and the public's fascination with their chemistry while largely keeping their individual challenges, Grey's trauma, her changing appearance, Swayze's personal battles, out of the headlines. They focused on the work, on promoting the film, and maintained a level of privacy that seems remarkable in today's age of constant public scrutiny. Their bond wasn't defined by public displays of affection or effusive compliments, but by a shared understanding of the pressure and the unique experience they had together, creating a cultural phenomenon. They were partners in bringing Baby and Johnny to life, and that shared artistic endeavor ultimately fostered a quiet, profound respect that endured. The legacy of Dirty Dancing remains as vibrant today as it was in 1987, and the performances of Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze are forever linked in cinematic history. After Dirty Dancing, Swayze continued to have major successes with films like Ghost, where he again showcased his ability to blend romance with emotional depth, solidifying his heartthrob status while also proving his dramatic chops. And Point Break, where he reinvented the action anti-hero, performing many of his own death-defying stunts. He demonstrated a range that went beyond dancing or romance, establishing himself as a bona fide movie star capable of leading across genres. His life took a tragic turn when he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, a battle he fought with remarkable courage and grace until his passing in 2009. His illness and death deeply affected many, including Jennifer Grey, who shared that unique, intense period of their lives with him. In the years following Patrick Swayze's death, Jennifer Grey spoke candidly about her grief and reflected on their complicated relationship. She remembered him not just as a co-star with whom she had initially clashed, but as a mentor who had significantly impacted her. Despite their early difficulties, she acknowledged the crucial role he played in pushing her as an actress and shaping her career during that pivotal time. She spoke fondly of the bond they eventually formed, one built on mutual respect and shared experience, a connection that ran deeper than the initial friction. Her memories painted a picture of a complex man who, despite his own struggles and demanding nature, was deeply committed to his art and genuinely cared about getting the best performance from his partner. Gray's public reflections underscored the idea that even relationships that begin with conflict can evolve into something meaningful and impactful, leaving a lasting mark long after the cameras stop rolling and lives diverge. In conclusion, the story of Dirty Dancing and its stars, Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze, is a compelling illustration of the often hidden complexities behind Hollywood magic. The seemingly effortless chemistry between Baby and Johnny was the product of hard work, clashing personalities, and two individuals navigating profound personal struggles, from childhood trauma and grief to the pressures of fame and changing appearances. Their journey, marked by initial tension, personal battles fought in private, and an eventual bond of mutual respect, reveals that the reality behind the iconic on-screen romance was far richer, more challenging, and ultimately, perhaps even more human than the fairy tale we imagined. It's a reminder that behind every dazzling performance and timeless film lies a tapestry of unseen experiences, resilience, and the enduring power of human connection, forged even in the most challenging circumstances. It leaves us contemplating the layers of story beneath the surface, in Hollywood and in life, reminding us that things are rarely as simple as they appear on the screen.